Hello, and welcome to our mock testimony. How is everyone doing this morning? My name is Shambria. I am a proud mother of two sons. My youngest son, Alante, is currently 10 years old, and he was diagnosed with autism at the age of 3. We reside in Polk County, which is District 1. And our group is the affordable housing group. Even though my son is 10 years old, affordable housing is something that we should be talking about now for the near future. The members of my group are Michael, Michelle, Janisha, and Angela. In Florida, 75% of adults with disabilities live with their parent or guardian. 1/3 of those adults that live with their parent or guardian, that parent or guardian is over the age of 60 years old. Affordable housing today is a critical need. However, we are here today representing the disabled community. This year alone, over 200 group homes have closed their doors, leaving these disabled individuals homeless. The Agency for Persons with Disabilities have a responsibility to inform all individuals by email, text, and phone call when funding is available for housing and when housing opportunities are available. Our request is for APD and all other social agencies that serve the disabled community to create an announcement system. The demand for community supportive housing is greater than the resources. Thank you.
Hello everyone. I hope you're enjoying the presentations thus far. My name is Janisha Davis. I currently reside in Hendry County, where I work as a 4th grade teacher. I am the proud mother of 3 boys. My oldest son is Peyton. He was diagnosed with autism at age 3. This issue is important to me personally. As Peyton becomes a young adult, he will be looking for affordable housing. Did you know there are 61 million adults living with a disability in the United States? In the state of Florida, we have 4.5 million alone, just in Florida. Affordable housing today is a challenge for most families in the United States. This is due to the rising rents and prices in the American economy. But here in Florida especially, we are having huge struggles. It has become even more critical issue in our disability community. Every single American deserves proper housing. They deserve the opportunity to live independently. But it gets more complicated because these individuals may require housing that is located with convenient access to public transportation, as this is likely their only form of getting to work. They may need close proximity to shopping, medical facilities, or employment because they do not drive. Some require accessibility modifications or require a live-in caregiver. It is important to add, our disability community sees a higher discrepancies between wages and job availability, particularly individuals and families of color. We are here today to represent the disability community here in Florida, where it has become a crisis. The average rent in Florida now is $1,790 a month. That is Florida state average. The average person with a disability, SSI, has a monthly income of $843, which has increased to $914. You can see the difference between the two numbers. So this person would need multiple roommates to make rent and still have enough money for food and transportation. It's become urgent that they find or are told about affordable housing options. Finding them places to live that will accept a voucher is imperative for them. That is the only way for them to live independently. We know federal changes are needed. We know more housing options need to be available across the United States. But here in Florida, we are starting to see some opportunities open up. We're starting to see some progress forward. But how? But how can you find it? How can a person with a disability find a housing opportunity? What if they don't know how to? What if they don't have a computer? What if they can't find help? What if they don't have a cell phone? Often these persons with disabilities only have the option to live at home. They do not they do not know about housing opportunities, and if they did, they do not have the ability to search them and find them. No one is helping to give them notifications or awareness when they become available. In addition to all the hurdles that I just listed, aging caretaking is also an alarming issue. This is due to part of the aging parents and caregivers of our loved ones with special needs. In the state of Florida, 75% adults with disabilities live with a parent or a guardian. That's a lot. 75% live at home. And of that 75%, 1 in 3 are those of parents over the age of 60. This puts us in a crisis situation where many parents who are caring for our loved disabled adults are at risk themselves. At risk for being hospitalized, becoming ill, or needing help themselves. Many of these caretakers are considered elderly and possibly disabled themselves. How can we expect these caregivers and caretakers to search out housing opportunities with so much already on their plate? The average lifespan of a male in the U.S. is 74.5 years old. The average lifespan of a female is 80.2 years old. Where are our loved ones with a disability going to go when their parents pass? Where are they going to go? We need to start now. We need to get the tools now and the resources into place for these persons with disabilities. I will now pass it on to Michelle. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Michelle Tetchner. We live in Jacksonville in Duval County. I am the mom to 3 boys, and our youngest is Raymond, who has Down syndrome, and he happens to rock an extra chromosome. Housing is very important to us personally, as my son Raymond is turning 20, and he will soon be looking for housing. And I took this, I signed up for this team because I knew nothing about where to start. There's no place to go, there's no single place to go, and so housing became very important to all of us as we started to dig through the research. As a team, we wanted to share a little bit of Michael and Jim's story with you. Originally, we thought Jim was going to get to be on our team, but we were told he could not. But they are kind of our driving force, and they have the story for us. So I'm going to recap a tiny bit. Michael's definitely going to speak later, and he's got some things to say. So Michael and his dad are super close and are actually in the process of building an amazing low-income housing complex in Broward County. It will be an exclusive supported living development created for those with disabilities, as well as including others in the community, possibly veterans or elderly. It is a huge win for this area, and we are all so jealous that it's not by us. Jim felt not only driven to do this project personally, but did it out of necessity. As he did the research to incorporate this project and get started, he heard story after story of families whose only option was for their young adults with a disability to live at home. That was their only option. The barriers to living independently are simply too much for many families. Jim would ask the parents questions like, have you checked into this, or have you checked that website? And they would simply stare blankly at him. They didn't know where to start. He would ask them a few weeks later, were you able to get into that? Did you find out more? And they would just blankly stare again. It's just overwhelming. The housing issue is complex and multi-layered. There isn't just one office that you can walk into hoping to fix it. As we spoke earlier, many of these families are low income. Many don't have computers, don't have smartphones, and can't afford these tools that many of us take for granted. Add in the fact that many are older, possibly elderly, battling health problems. Many have let the internet and technology slip by them years ago. It is an overwhelming task for them to even think about researching some of this. Meanwhile, APD and these other social agencies already have a database of every person in our state who has a disability. We feel strongly that they can and that they should be pushing out this information when it is given to them. We feel strongly that a simple text message, email, or letter can be sent to their clients in the specific counties when the housing opportunities come available. Right now, it is mostly word of mouth. It is someone who knows that guy. and that's not an equitable system for everyone. The very first night we sat down as a team to start this project in progress, Jim mentioned in passing that he had just celebrated his birthday. It was his 60th birthday. We got right to work and started to connect all of this data that we were finding, and we grew more and more heartbroken by the statistics the more that we dug. We came across numbers that 75% of persons with disabilities leave at home, and the average age of that caretaker is over 60. What happens when that family member passes? But then we saw that the average age of a man is just 74.2 years old. A hush fell over our group. Jim is 60. Jim happens to be in great physical shape, especially for someone his age. But what about the other families? What about the other young people that are hoping to still live on their own independently? What about the other young people who need to live independently? We are here today to ask APD to make changes. The notification system has to be able to alert families of opportunities. We cannot expect families to go dig, research, and find these housing opportunities themselves. We can't. We need more opportunities for housing. We need the funding, we need the passion, and we need others, including our politicians and decision makers, to step up and push these housing issues to the forefront of their agenda. And now for Angie.
Hello, I'm Angela Nandine, and I am a military spouse, and I have 3 handsome boys who all happen to have autism. All 3 of my boys have limited verbal capabilities, and I live in Santa Rosa County. People with disabilities are suffering the worst consequence of current affordable housing. This situation is a humanitarian crisis. We can't wait for the federal government to step in. We here in Florida need to step up. Many of the disabled persons in our community are now being stranded and left homeless in some cases due to lack of resources, technology, and help. There is an urgent need for more housing for those with disability to be aware of when housing comes available. We want to reiterate our request for APD and all social agencies that serve our disabled community will change the way affordable housing is assessed. These announcements will include text, email, and mail as needed. They will go out county to county as soon as agencies are aware of the housing opportunity. These new changes and procedures will forward housing policies and programs. These are not only life-saving actions for people with disabilities, but will also provide housing security for all. Creating a responsive system prepared to meet the increasing demand for accessible, affordable housing and preventing housing insecurity in the future is what is needed. There is no one better who can speak on this better than someone living it. Let me introduce you to Michael, who is the driving force of our group. Thank you very much.
My name is Michael Tyler. I live independently, but there's no affordable housing available at this time. However, I do have 2 part-time jobs. One with the Florida Harris and one with the Miami Dolphins. Now that is not enough for a house or an apartment. My father is 80 years over. So I don't know what to do anymore. So I'm asking you for help. So can you please help me